moving on to the Xbox document leak. Have you seen this?
No,
So,
this is the
oh,
first
hold
I'm
on.
hearing
Actually, let
about
me.
it.
Now that I've said it, let me send you these pictures, and we're gonna talk about them.
Okay.
Because
All right.
because now that I know you haven't seen them, I have them downloaded because I'm gonna use them when I edit.
You had them ready.
Yeah, because I need to have them ready for editing, and
Right, right. Makes sense,
so
makes sense.
Xbox documents were leaked.
Oh.
For the some legal stuff that they were providing to courts for them trying to acquire Activision and Blizzard, and
Right.
some stuff that was supposed to be redacted wasn't redacted, and now we know a lot of information that we shouldn't. Um,
Mhm.
so
Is this
it
like the
revealed,
second time this has happened this year?
yeah, it happened with PlayStation. Well,
Ah.
no, actually, it wasn't leaked with PlayStation. It was like kind of just forced to come out by Xbox
Mhm.
during the legal stuff, but it was something similar. But yeah, they revealed some new consoles and games. A cylindrical, all digital Xbox Series X with upgraded RAM and storage, codenamed
Mhm.
Brooklyn. And the one I'm actually looking forward to. Wait, I skipped one. Where is it? Oh, I don't know why my notes are scrambled right now. And also a new Xbox Series X, which nothing's changed about it except that it has a little bit more, I think, RAM, but it looks the same. Everything about it is the same. So it's just essentially the like new models going into production for the Xbox Series S is gonna just have more RAM. But the Series X is getting a big new version that's all digital, so it's gonna be so based on the language they use, we can assume, especially since it's not gonna have a disk drive, it's gonna be much smaller, which
Mhm.
I have one. It's not as big as the PS5, but it's not small. Um, because they say the most powerful Xbox ever now adorably all digital,
Yeah.
digital. So I feel like you don't say that about something that's gigantic.
Yeah.
Um, so it's probably going to be much smaller than the current one. It being cylindrical is weird because there's ways you can make cylindrical things like lay on their sides. Like they'll probably give you some type of like stopper to put on it to keep it from rolling around when you lay it on its side.
To do
But
all that.
yeah, that's weird though. Like making it cylindrical. I feel like they should just
Yeah.
made it flatter.
Hexagonal or something like not a tube.
Like I absolutely love the way the Xbox One S looks. The white, it's well, they have a black version too, I think, but it's essentially the Xbox Series S that you see right there. The
Mhm.
Xbox One S looks just like that, except it has a disk drive, and because of that, it's a little bit bigger. Like
Ah, I got
literally
you.
from the like circle at the top of it, it has that, except that it's white instead of black on the Series S that I gave to my brother. It's easily, I that is probably my, in terms of design, my favorite game console ever. Like I'm
Really?
talking about more than any PlayStation, and I love PlayStation way more than Xbox in terms of like games that they have on it. But in terms of design, I like the PlayStation designs. Maybe not the original PS3. PS3 Slim looks nice though. But I
Yeah.
like the PS5 design, despite how weird it is. The PS4 design is fun. Um, but the Xbox Series S is just so simple and clean. And
Mhm.
the Xbox One S, like I said, is also very clean. But cylinders, it's weird.
Yeah,
But
taking the box out of Xbox.
you're absolutely right. I did not think about that. What are they gonna call this? Because I don't know if they're gonna call it Series S because they're doing a serious thing. So like I hate their name conventions. So they're probably gonna call it Series something else. It's like some other letter. Um,
Yeah.
because if they just call it Series S Slim or something like that, I'm gonna just slap somebody. Um, because what's the whole point of starting the Series thing and having different Series S, Series X, just to call the next one Series X with another word? I swear to God, that would be
Right.
so stupid. They better
That is
call it like Series, I don't know, D? That sounds weird. But
definitely sounds weird.
I was going D for digital, but I don't know. Or AD, all digital? I don't know, something like that. But the one I'm actually looking forward to is the controller, which,
Mm.
let me look at that. It has haptic feedback like the PS5 controller does, the DualSense, which essentially when you're moving on certain surfaces, you can kind of like if you're stepping on glass, it feels like you're stepping on glass as weird as that is.
Ooh.
And it, I don't know if it has adaptive triggers. I don't know if they said that, and I think it might. I don't feel like reading it. They might have adaptive triggers, but that essentially means like this like I turned it off on Cyberpunk because it was annoying, but like in games where you like shoot a bow, it like tenses like it's harder to pull,
Mhm.
simulating how it's hard to pull back a drawstring on a bow.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
But I don't know if this has that. I don't think it does. But it does have the
Oh.
haptic feedback. And what it has, which Xbox should have had, like honestly, this console should have launched with a controller like this, which is, Xbox controllers need batteries.
Right.
And the thing about it is, you know, it's smart. The reason they do it is because batteries only get weaker and weaker as time goes by. So PlayStation controllers, their batteries just get weaker and weaker, and if you want a strong battery, you're just gonna have to buy a whole new controller. Xbox wanted to alleviate that by giving you the option to just straight up replace the batteries. Right. And then eventually they made rechargeable battery packs that you can buy from Xbox, which I have a one from a different brand because the Xbox ones are expensive.
Right.
So I have different ones that I use to recharge instead of having to buy new batteries all the time. But now they're releasing a controller that comes with a rechargeable battery, which is what they should have been doing from the beginning, which of course they didn't because they wanted more money. But they should have always been releasing a controller with a rechargeable battery.
Right.
Already inside of it, so that you have the option of replacing it when the battery gets too weak. But yeah, last but not least, they revealed that's a bunch of games were leaked, but there's only two that I care about that we're going to talk about today. And that is Dishonored 3 and Doom Zero Year. Both of which I think were set to release this year according to the document, but of course these documents are old by at least a year, so, plans change. And we weren't even supposed to know this. So I'm most excited for Dishonored because I wasn't sure if we'd get another one since the second one underperformed and didn't sell as well as the first one did. Despite how great those games are, they are not bad games. Like, if you watch reviews, every review was like, these are the greatest stealth games I've ever played in my goddamn life. But they just didn't sell well for some reason. Yeah. But now that they have, because Bethesda is now, Arcane, the studio that makes those games, is under Bethesda, which was bought by Xbox. And with the power of, or the money specifically, of Microsoft behind them, I would hope that they would be able to advertise this game to high moons. And actually get people's eyes on it, and people will play this game, love it, and then go back and play the first two. Because I really want Dishonored 3 to do good. Because was it Deathloop? I feel like some people, especially online, kind of think it was a failure, but it sold really well and reviewed really well. It just the advertising, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I think they learned their lesson with Dishonored because the advertising for Deathloop was everywhere. Do you remember the time that Deathloop was being advertised and it was everywhere all the time? And at every single game showcase for 2 years, they kept showing Deathloop over and over again. And the trailers were shown everywhere. Like, they were not playing around with Deathloop. Arcane was like, we're going to get people to play this game.
One way or another.
You're never going to not be able to hear about this game. But when it came out, it didn't do exceptional, but it did do well. Like, they made money. And I loved it. It was a fun game. It's no Dishonored, but it was good. So I'm real excited for Dishonored 3. And like, id Software, like, as far as we know, they're not working on anything else. So like, it was always assumed that they're working on Doom. Like, they just finished Doom Eternal. What's the next game they're gonna make? They literally haven't been working on anything but Doom for the past like 10 years. So it makes sense that they're working on another Doom because Doom Eternal
They've been working on more Doom than they have been since like Final Doom came out.
Doom Eternal did extremely well. So of course we're getting another Doom. It's called Zero Year, and for some people that leads them to think it might be a prequel, but for me, I think it might be a sequel that is a start of something new. Because the way Eternal ended essentially kind of ended the threat of the demons in a way.
Right.
So since the demons are gone, you got to introduce something new. And I think more demons would be boring. Because the demons in Doom aren't really demons. They're basically aliens.
Yeah. Because
in Doom Eternal it's revealed that like hell is just like a planet in the solar system, basically. And like the same thing with like the angels and stuff. So like they're kind of just aliens. So so I think the logical next step is just straight up aliens. Yeah. And I hope that's what they do. I hope the next step is just now we're just fighting these weird alien creatures, which would be really fun. And that's why it's called Zero Year, because it's like the first year of some invasion, which, man, Earth cannot catch a break in the Doom universe.
No, for real.
They get invaded like every couple years. It's crazy. They do not.
It always seems like they're never prepared for it. It's like,
never.
I think after the third invasion, like humanity probably would have started to do something about it, you know?
Yeah.
But
It would be cool if they did expand on that. Like, you know what? Now we're actually preparing for war.
right.
And, it would be cool if you didn't play as a Doomslayer. You're playing as, like, a soldier in the army that was built because, like, maybe inspired by the Doomslayer. And, like, they actually have prepared for war this time. And aliens are invading and they're prepared. But, like, you get to see the Doomslayer from the outside. Like, you're playing as a soldier going around doing stuff, and occasionally you hear about the stuff that the Doomslayer is doing, or you see the Doomslayer just come and destroy some demons in front of you.
Right.
That would
It's
actually
like,
be
it would
really
be
cool. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say it'd be a really cool callback to Doom Guy's humble origins as just some
Yeah.
guy that was like, they were like, please help us, and he's like, okay.
At first, he was just some guy whose rabbit got
Yeah.
murdered. And
Yeah.
people always, like, his family also got murdered. It wasn't just the rabbit, but his rabbit did get murdered.
Definitely a big part of it, though.
Yeah. It was part of his family. So, but yeah, I'm excited for a new Doom. In response to these leaks, Xbox CEO Phil Spencer said, "We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now. And in the future, we will share the real plans when we are ready." I also forgot to announce the release dates for those things. The Series S is supposed to come out August 2024, and the Series X is supposed to come out October 2024.
Nice.
But yeah, ultimately, leaks do suck. And,
Yeah.
we'll
They
keep
are creative.
we'll keep covering the ones that aren't like straight up spoilers for games.
Mhm.
But that doesn't change the fact that they suck. But like also a couple of things before we move on to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is that they also, like, in these documents it was revealed that they were considering trying to do something that makes no sense, which is buy Nintendo. And a lot of people make jokes about it because it's like you're in third place while Nintendo is in first place right now.
And then also, this isn't the first time that they've tried
No,
to buy Nintendo,
it's not.
from what I've heard. Yeah.
From what I've heard, they tried before and were literally laughed out of the room. And
Yeah.
they're trying it again. And it was also kind of, in the way it was worded, was that they might try a hostile takeover, which is wild. Which I hope that's not a thing that they do.
Right.
I think, but a lot of people said maybe it's just like, it's his job to at least try. Because there are people above him who are just like, you got to do something. So it's his job to at least make it seem like he's trying to, even if he knows it's impossible. Phil Spencer.
Like,
Sometimes
Nintendo
it's your
is
job to do things that just it's not going to work out, but you got to do what you got to do.
It's like it's just like it's so ballsy because Nintendo is a company with 100 years of history.
As a gaming company, they're doing much better than Xbox.
Yeah.
Microsoft is a whole different thing. Microsoft makes too much money, but when it comes to games specifically, they're in first place. PlayStation is in second. Xbox is in third. You're in third place. You can't try and buy first place.
Yeah, it's not how that works.
But yeah,